You are listening to session / episode 80 of Primordial Harmony, a retelling of the classic elemental evil story in the Dungeons and Dragons multiverse. My name is Mike, I'm the DM, and tonight I'm joined by...
Hello, it's me, Senna, and I'm playing Delia, the Gnome Wizard.
Unfortunately, Kitty's will be late, but she's playing Hum, the Gnome Bard.
Hello, I'm Miles, and I'm playing Tadias Oddenoff. I'm an Osmar Seeker.
Hey, I'm Nyx, and I'm playing Vox. She's just come out of the closet, being a changeling rogue.
Hey, I'm Zaffin. I play Zacro Vitalis, the Fire Genasi fighter, and I did not know she's a changeling.
Surprise!
Surprise. Coming out of the closet. Excellent. Well, when last we left the Pact of Koirit Dwolm, as Tadias, Hum, Delia, and Vox were walking back to the Temple of Kalemvor, Tadias broke off, much to Hum's chagrin, to check on Katie Calder. They had a bit of a moment where Tadias would inform her of his drive to defeat the threat impending. Meanwhile, Delia and Hum sewed capes out of the tapestry from the Temple of Fire that they found. That night, we saw the moot for Marshal Grobash. Stories were told, tears were shed. Ren would take her brother's skull with her. The next day, the crews would gather once more at the Wayshield headquarters before heading out. Vox, wanting the Excavators to know of her true nature, revealed to them that she wasn't quite a human, but a changeling. The Excavators were mostly unfazed by this, and Vox was accepted a bit more into the group. The Excavators and Gordon's task force parted ways at the Western Bridge in Forstride. As GTF began heading towards Tomerer, Stoneflame rushed to join them. But we now focus ourselves on the Excavators as they head northwest along the Shilch Road over the Over the 4-day journey, Tadias would object read the melted hilt of Zaman Rul's sword, a scene we have yet to dive into, and the party would see smoke rising from the Conadir forest. Having faith in GTF, they would press on. The Excavators arrive in Orborough on Kythron 26 and receive a warm welcome from the town's guard at the gate. They sought Derek, the old man that assisted them when the Earth Cult held more power over the town. They found him in the Hammer and Tongs Tavern. While Tadias and Vox play a game of Truth or Drink, another scene we must resolve, Delia, Hum, and Zachriel sought out Renwick. They would come to learn that Renwick had been on guard for the last several 10 days, devoting his time and magic toward defending Orborough from a drip-feed onslaught of Ankegs. The Excavators offer to help, and it turns out that the Ankegs seem to be coming from the Sacred Stone Monastery, where the Excavators plan to go anyway. Hum volunteers to help the group watch that night for Ankeg incursions. Well, Zachriel and Hum leave to retrieve Tadias and Vox before they grow too inebriated, and Delia flirts with Renwick a bit before talking about how she found out that his brother, Samular, might still be alive himself in the Conadir forest. I would say we return to Kythron the 26th, but we have a few things to cover.
Gotta love housekeeping.
Housekeeping! Alright. So let me paint a little bit of a picture for Justin, who wasn't here last week. So just to sort of put you in that frame of mind, I want to take you back to the night of Grobash's funeral service, the moot, as the Goliath culture calls it. And I just want to take a little bit of a dive into Zachriel's and Vardix's minds, where they're at with everything that had been happening in Forstride over the past couple of days. You can start with whichever character you want.
I think I'll start with Vardic. It's the easier of the two.
Alrighty.
To Vardic, this is... it's kind of like just adding more fuel to the fire for him. He knows what he has to do. and it's just like adding.
He's more resolved.
Yeah, it's adding to his resolve to complete his what he believes is his goal, his mission. It's just more bodies to cut through for him. Zachariel's a little more conflicted. Zachariel is first of all, he's pissed off that whoever orchestrated it attacked their hometown and killed Grobash and countless other soldiers and civilians. But he's also kind of blaming himself for it because of the actions that they've had throughout the land. He feels like this is probably brought on based on the dealings they've had with the different cults. But he stands firm with his plan or promise to help Ren complete her act of vengeance or revenge. So he's a little conflicted, but is still prepared to follow through.
Cool. All right. So let's fast forward a bit to where the party was on the way to Orboro, and Tadias wanted to object read that melted hilt. Is that right?
Yeah, we were doing it on the night that we rested on the road.
Right. There's plenty of those to choose from. Don't really need to worry too much about which one. So take this. Actually, who has it? Does Tadias have it?
I do.
Okay. So you take this melted hilt out, and it's actually kind of big for a person. Like, you would think that it's it's for a greatsword, but its proportions sort of look like it was more for a longsword, but for a person who's just bigger.
So like a really kind of short handle for how wide and big it is.
Exactly. So you object read it, and the information you get, the origin of it, and what was it? It was a significant event that it experienced.
Yep, DM discretion.
Right. Well, the origin you get is Torlir, the Aesir, forging this thing. It is surrounded by just glowing stone, and sort of as you experience this, as it sort of filters into your mind, you realize that everything is glowing because the surrounding area is so hot that black body radiation is just, peaking. And it's obviously in a forge, and it's made of a very tough metal that can only be smelted in the forge of an Aesir, in the plane of fire. And that sort of lends to this intense, not intense, but this juxtaposition that you sort of experience when the most significant event that happened to this weapon was that in the throes of combat in the material plane, somewhere, a place where the elements are more or less in harmony, where the air is much more temperate than on the plane of fire, this force that Zaman Rule was fighting with this weapon was so strong and so hot that it melted the weapon.
So I sensed its origin, and then the event I'm sensing is that it experienced a heat unlike even its forging, far beyond what it thought capable, and it couldn't handle.
Yeah.
All right. I guess I'll, kind of sit up next to Zachriel, and I'll kind of uncover the sword, and I'll hand it off to him. You know what this is?
From what I've been told, it was mine in a former life.
Yes, I did the thing I do. I looked into its history, its past. You lived a pretty incredible life, Zachriel.
Struck down by Amix.
It's hard to tell if that was what did this, but I can only experience through the object itself, and it seemed whatever emix or power or force you actually dealt with, it was beyond the capabilities of your former self. It worries me what we're going to do in our current conditions.
And the memories are surfacing again, Zachriel, that they definitely feel like they're yours. This instance where you're fighting for the sake of material plane, its inhabitants, and against your nemesis. This being that is antithetical to you in terms of intent and philosophy, but almost the same with the nature of your, I don't want to say construction, the nature of your being. And you can interpret that however you want, but it's just very fresh, and it doesn't feel fresh, it's just very, strong in your mind.
Today is, if I had learned of this information even a month ago, I probably wouldn't have believed it. And I'm not the type of person to take gods or their wills into consideration in anything I do. But lately I've been, with these memories coming back, fragments of what I once was. Perhaps there is a god that decided that I deserved a second chance. And with the help of all of you and proper battle strategy, I think we can take him.
Today just kind of nods quietly. We're going to need to be stronger.
Gonna need a lot of water.
I say the Sea of Fire is hot. Well, if we're going to be ruled by them, I might as well learn their language a little better.
I wanted to ask about Zachriel and his waist shield cloak and the cape that Delia made. I'm just wondering if he doesn't wear that and he still wears the waist shield cloak, if there's anything there. Because I think it's an interesting character thing.
Could he not double cloak it?
Yeah, he could. It's a cape, right? It's not like a cloak. It's not a cloak.
Yeah.
I'm asking.
See, I was thinking that the waist shield one was more like a mantle thing that kind of like ties off, almost like a cross between like a cloak scarf type deal.
Kind of like those things that they wore in Attack on Titan. Those green things.
Yeah, or like like in ancient Greece, with like the Praetorians had the cloth that clipped onto their shoulder pieces and just kind of draped over.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Sure. Like,
It's like a half poncho, kind of.
like
A
that.
style and half poncho.
I put it on pictures. Kind of like that.
One sec. Yeah, exactly like that.
So the weight, so to character build, the way shield, the way shield garb is like that, and then what's the? I'll have to edit that in later. But what is the what's the fire cape look like then? Is it just like a superhero cape or?
Yeah, with a hood.
It's a cowl.
Oh well, obviously that's over the top of it.
Okay,
You're very toasty.
you are very toasty. It's summer. You're wearing double layers and armor.
Yeah, but I have resistance.
See a fire.
You have resistance to fire damage. Oh, I love it. All right, I dig it. Doesn't bother him because, you know, always this toasty.
There might be like mild discomfort, but he knows that Delia and put effort into it, so he wants to wear it.
Cool. All right. Well then, let's go back to the scene where after Delia, Hum, and Zachariel leave Vox and Tadias in the Hammer and Tongs, and let's get that scene going.
Oh, and if Zachariel accepts it, I'm gonna give him back his hilt. So I don't know if you want to keep your view on me to keep it, but it's yours if you want it.
He'll look at you and say, "Well, I don't think I really feel the sentiment for it, and to be honest, I'm quite happy with my partner Suni. Perhaps if there's any way of fixing that, it could aid you."
No way on this plane, but I'll hold on to it for you.
Well, we do have Toya there.
Yeah, Toilet is not on the plane of fire.
Well, Akka does have an elemental room.
Based on the information of what we've been hearing, perhaps it's not the safest of places.
True.
Don't worry. And I just kind of pop him on the shoulder, like that loose little punch, and I head off to my bedroll. All right, so bar time.
Bar time.
I'm going to slide a big flagon of, I believe we're drinking ale, over to Vox as the others walk off.
So this
Books.
this
I catch it.
this ale is it's more it's a really hoppy ale, and as you sort of imbibe this and you sort of get a taste of it, Tadias, you kind of notice that there's a lot of or not a lot, but there's like, seems like somebody was experimenting a little bit and put turnips in the mix.
Strange, but noted. I'm going to turn toward Vox and I'm going to say, you know, we have not had many times to talk about each other yet. So, I would like to propose a game.
Go on.
Very simple game. How it works, I ask you a question, you ask me a question. We tell truth as much as we can. Anytime we have to cower in silence, we must drink. Person who drinks most pays the tab. You game?
Game on.
Well, I suppose pseudo ladies first. What would you like to ask me?
Wow.
Let's start from the beginning. What did you do before you came to this group?
I worked with a woman named Katie Kolger and my uncle, Dmitri. I've been in a bit of muscle, bit of help for archaeological digs and tinkering with technologies, dealing with the elementals. I also have a family that runs a tavern, so I'm sometimes a bouncer of some sort when people get a little too rowdy.
Or a taste tester.
Mostly that, yes. So, why did you join the Way Shields?
Well, you guys asked me to.
Not us. The Way Shields.
Oh, shit. Sorry. I was craving a group, a company. They do good, and I do good.
Understandable. All right, your turn.
Have you always lived in First Stride?
I was born here. My parents moved from another place. Never really asked them. Yes, I grew up in Forstride. What is something you've never told Gordon?
Ooh.
I have kept nothing from Gordon.
Nah, that's less
He's
interesting.
the one that knows all my secrets.
It's good to have someone to confide in. Got a
Yes.
clinker flagon and I drink a little bit.
So you mentioned Katie, and I know Hum and Delia were mentioning Katie when you went to go see her, I think. Who is she?
She is a fascinating woman. She's a lead archaeologist in the society. Brilliant, kind, and a good friend to me and a better partner.
How's your facial expression when you talk about her?
He's kind of subdued. You can see a slight smile kind of come off his face, but you can't tell if that's immediately the alcohol or him just thinking of better times. But it's just kind of like, a subdued smile. I'm going to kind of lean in a little closer and I'm going to look her in the eyes. I'm like, why are you so interested in Katie?
Does Vox visibly, like, blush when he says that? Or what's her expression like?
No. It's me trying to think. I was just curious to know why you kept it a secret that you went to go see Katie.
Wasn't really a secret. Hum can read me like a book. We probably don't even need to play this game. She knows most of me. But it was a affair that I wanted to keep private because I just wanted it to be me and her. So we could talk about things.
Understandable.
Was that yours or mine?
I can't remember.
We're not drinking enough. So, what terrifies you more in this world than anything? What are you most afraid to lose or what most afraid to happen to you?
Losing the ones I love.
There are some. Now we have something to talk about. Is Gordon the only one? Well, I should wait for you. Do you have a question?
Thinking. Oh man, I had all these questions. Okay. Do you have any thoughts about leaving this group and pursue other endeavors?
You have not been with us long. It is difficult to see me ever leaving this group. I feel as if they are the only reason I'm alive. Including you now. And I kind of like show the side of my face a little bit. But I don't know if you believe in destiny or a cause that you have to achieve. I've had certain people tell me that the future will be difficult. And it will be directly because of us whether people live or die. I cannot be so selfish to leave this group. I must pursue forward. I don't know what it's going to entail. But it's good to have a capable comrades like you.
Challenging up ahead?
Challenges are everywhere. We don't walk an easy path.
I'm sure this group will get through it.
The Excavators have done much. You have big shoes to fill, but you've done well so far.
Thank you.
So you mentioned people you care about. Tell me of them.
She gets a little silent there.
That's what the drinking's for.
She's just drinking.
You care about them a lot, enough to protect them. Well, Vox, you've been helpful so far. And this is just the start. I may not be a way shield, but I see a lot of potential in them. So remember, if you're in this party, you're one of us. If you ever need anything, you let us know.
Thank you. I will.
That's about the time where Hum and Zachriel waltz in.
Delia left you?
Believe she's on a date.
Sounds like her. She's been missing him.
Hum,
Well, you know.
Hum says,
I still have yet to meet this beau of hers.
Probably more appropriate for her to tell you about it.
Hum says, let's let's give her a minute just to spend some alone time with him, but we do have, I volunteered us to help keep watch tonight.
Oh, still the on gigs?
Still the on kegs.
Right, which means you two should probably stop your drinking.
I drink a little bit more when he says that.
But I still have some left in the cup. I'd hate for it to go to waste. I drink it.
Alright, but when you're drunk fighting and not able to focus, don't blame me.
How many did you guys have?
Let me roll it.
Oh, let me roll it. Okay. Oh, that many.
I had more than drunken Mario
my
Party
God.
yesterday.
All right. What about Vox? This is your decision. You don't need to roll a d8.
No, you don't have to do that. That's a Tadai's thing.
Well, why don't I do it too?
Wow. You're both heavy drinkers. The conversation didn't last that long.
Yeah, we cliff noted it. There might have been more.
Okay, fine.
Oh, to be fair, Tadai is a heavy drinker.
I can't keep up.
Alright. Fair enough. Okay, well then,
You want a con save?
yeah, no, I do. I'm thinking, I do want a con save, but I'm thinking of DCs, so don't roll them yet.
Gotcha.
Yeah, okay. I have my DCs. Go ahead and roll.
Let's do it.
Oh, yeah. You pounded back 7 drinks in about an hour?
About.
I need
I
to
fight better loose.
I need to save from Vox. Yeah, alright. Well, Vox, you feel a little bit, maybe a bit tipsy, but you don't. It's not going to impact you mechanically. Tadias, however, you are going to be under the poison condition
Got it.
for a little bit.
So rosy cheek Tadias finishes his drink and puts it on the table. Drops what money he needs for it. How much do I owe you?
You said, it'll be, it's probably 5 copper a drink.
All right, I'll cover hers too. I put down a gold for it.
Well, thank you kindly, says the barkeep.
Let's go.
Tadias, we should do this
Eh.
sometime.
What was that?
We should do this again sometime.
Anytime you want.
It was fun.
I feel like we've missed something.
Ah, exactly. You're fine. Don't worry about it. We just need to go out.
Okay,
You know.
Barky,
Perhaps
can I
Zach
get
would
some
like to
bread?
join
Or...
us time.
I got some
You know what?
got some biscuits left over from this morning.
Yeah, can
Get
I
the
get
trash out of my way.
those?
bud. I'm gonna walk past him as I head towards the door. A little stumble on one of the stools as I pass by, as it catches my new cape that I'm not used
You knock over a stool with the cape.
to. Get that out of the way.
Sorry about him. We can't take him anywhere.
So eventually, Tadias, Zachariel, and Vox end up outside. Oops. Ow. And Delia and Renwick are a bit ways, not a ways, but they're like around here. And what? I just want to make this kind of funny. What kind of, or not funny, but what kind of, what are they talking about right now as the rest of the excavators approach?
She's probably showing him like spells that she's working on, like her notes in her spell book. Getting really excited about Phantom Steed because she hasn't seen him since she learned that one. And she just thinks it's so cool to be able to like summon a steed.
You make a comment that she's coming along in her studies and prowess.
And I'll like I'll polymorph myself into like a little rabbit or something and then polymorph back.
Oh, so mark off the spell.
You got it.
All right. Well, you guys find Delia and Renwick chatting on next to the palisade.
Hi guys.
Mike, just for my information, we spoke to Renwick
You did.
yet, or is this
You
our
have.
first time?
You have. For like a minute or two. And that's when he told you about the end kegs and everything.
Gotcha.
how does a palisade look? Is it like a romantic thing, or is it just kind of there and they're just talking? Like, do they have a nice view of the stars?
Oh, I mean, the stars. Well, it's getting. It's. I would say that it's getting near sunset at this point. Or actually, no. It's probably just past sunset, and there's a few stars in the sky. The sky is purple right now.
And I'm not tall enough to see over the thing.
Well, if you look up, you could see a couple of stars.
Well, I mean, like, into the mountains or anything like that.
Oh, I mean, the palisade's pretty tall. It's these metal logs that are like 20 feet up.
Renwick,
Yes, Agriel.
what can you tell us of the attack patterns? Where do they come from? Are they all rushing at one location?
He lets out a breathy sigh and he says, "It's not, and if there's no distinct pattern to it, which is why I've been on guard for this entire time. I would have been sending you more sendings about it, but I've been making sure that there's no surprise attacks."
Well, Renwick, a man of your vast intellect and experience, I imagine that you can see even the slightest of patterning amongst the chaos. Where would you like us?
Says, that's it's an interesting. He says, it's very interesting what you just said, for it is quite a mortal thing to seek patterns where there are none.
Well, you see, I'm struggling with this newfound I'm a mortal and a demigod thing, so...
Have you guys told Renwick about...
No.
No? He, right now he's disguised, so that, like, his lich form isn't, on display. And, he cocks an eyebrow with his illusory face. And, he says, "Pray tell, what do you mean?"
Oh, apparently in a former life, I was a man, an elemental named Zamanru.
He looks a bit taken aback, and he says, "Why is that name so familiar?"
From what I've pieced together with memories and the help from my Azir ally, I am basically my arch nemesis in life is Imix.
He blinks for a few moments.
I'm the antithesis to the evil flame, I guess.
Who are the
He's literally fighting fire with fire.
the archnomental of good fire elementals?
Yes. Or it was. Now I'm Zachariel.
Oh, you still it for me, and I pat him on the back.
He looks down at Delia, and he says, "When did you discover this, and how?"
Well, it's kind of a recent development. We were in the fire temple, and we found Torlier, and I'll kind of like look at Zachariel.
I've been having these visions and memories brought to me by Suni, my shovel. And I wasn't able to piece them together until meeting Tolia, who is an Azir from the Fire Plane, and apparently was a very good close friend and ally.
Have you ever
Have
you ever handed him Sony Spade?
I have not, I don't believe.
Have you ever mentioned that name? I don't think so.
I don't think.
He just looks very blown away, and he says, "We're in the presence of 2 Arcno elementals."
2? Are you saying you're one?
No. Suni's is the Arcno elemental of good earth creatures.
Oh. Well, that explains a lot, actually.
And Tadias, you are sort of reminded of the origin of Suni's spade. Of this what was it? This gray-skinned gnome who was holding a quartz piece and who looked extremely distraught and sad, but used the quartz piece to craft Suni's spade.
Well, Aaron, that you know anything about the Chan? Maybe makes, little chime things.
Hum holds out the chimes. And Renwick, well, this is quite interesting. He says, 3. May I take a look at these items?
Sure. I'll hand them Sunia. Okay, you can have a look at it, but I'm not sure. Do you need to touch me?
I don't believe so. And he examines the spade for about a minute. And then he takes the chimes and does the same thing, hands them back to both of you. He says, well, that explains the disappearance I read about. After the cataclysm that ravaged the land that Koirit Dwalm once was, the Arcno elementals that came to defend it disappeared. Seems like we know what happened to 3 out of the 4.
So there's another one out there.
Probably in that smoking forest.
One for the Arcno elemental Ben Hadar. His element is water.
Oh. So you... Oh. Yeah.
He cocks his head at Tadias.
Nothing. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna settle it next to Delia and check on her. How you doing, little buddy?
I'm good, and I'll pat his arm. Maybe you should just sit down here for a second.
Why don't you sit up here?
Oh no. Delia, I wouldn't. He's a little bit tipsy, says Hum.
Yeah, just a little bit. And I'll kind of hold his arm just so that he's not getting too ratty.
Right in front of him, huh? Renwick will be very jealous. You better stop.
Okay. And I'll sort of sidestep away.
He takes a seat down the ground so everyone doesn't have to worry about him.
I'll just throw the biscuits into your lap. Eat them.
You're not my dad.
Dad.
Listen, I'm the dad of this group, and you'll do as I say.
I'm the drunk uncle right now. Let me enjoy myself.
Fox is going to go up to Zaffin. Just kind of whisper to him, why isn't this guy with the party? He seems like he'd be really good fit for us. And I was gesturing to Renwick.
He'll lean in and... Oh, you're trustworthy, right?
Of course.
Well, it's kind of hard for a lich to walk around among the living, isn't it?
Shit, be right back.
Her mind explodes.
Boom!
Well, now I'm hanging on that answer that she will say. It's like a forced commercial break.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z. What will Vox say? Will today sober up?
Never.
What will Vox say?
Sorry, I had to run away from game for a second.
Oh, we know, but... So, Zachriel just told you that Renwick's a lich.
Boy, sure fooled me.
It's an illusion of some sort. He's very powerful, and the people of Orbro needed help, so he stayed here.
Noted.
When we were here last, the Earth cult had taken over the city, and we liberated it. Also, Tadias was almost bacon.
Shit, I forgot to ask him about that.
I'm gonna have to do it next time. You sit down for a pint.
Okay, and then Vox is gonna go up to Renwick like, by the way, I'm Vox. I'm new to the party. You must be Renwick. I've heard so much about you, from Delia.
He looks at Delia.
She blushes and looks embarrassed.
Pray tell, what has she told you?
Oh. Just that you're a very good person? No, just that you helped this party.
He says... Yes. They, well, mostly... He looks at Delia for a second.
Oh, and
he says,
I also see why she talks about you a lot.
He looks at Delia a little bit and says, yes, they helped me out of a bit of a funk, I'd say. He looks at Vox and... Vox, lovely to meet you. He then kind of like squints his illusory eyes. And he leans in close and he says, do they know?
They're my party, of course they know.
Ah. This woman will be a valuable asset to you, he says.
She already has been.
He smiles and nods. Good. And you hear from the top of the watch station you're at, Renwick, we're seeing some ankegs coming down from the mountains. And Renwick's shoulders slump a little bit, and he says, there'll be more than that. They're likely to come under us as we speak. He says to everybody here, the party, get to the center of town, and then you hear this eruption of earth from a bunch of different directions, like localized like spots where the ground just, explodes open. And he says, well, if you're not too inebriated, go and help the guard. And then you see he poofs into mist and then appears up at the top. So we are going to roll we're going to roll some initiative. And I have your tokens, right? Got what's going on. Oh. Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to reveal or put them on the player layer real quick. Yeah. and you guys can both see and sort of hear where these creatures are. I'm going to reveal them. And we're going to roll some initiative, and the initiative's not really going to be... It's just going to be to focus on one person at a time. It depends on how you guys approach this, as they're in different like areas, and there's a lot of ground here to cover, as you can see. So there's going to be basically 5 different sites to focus on. So you're going to have to decide where you're going to go and how you will approach this. And you can hear yelling. You can hear the yelling of soldiers, not soldiers, of guardsmen, getting mobilized and rushing to these areas. There's also, you also know that there's several on the outside too. But it looks like Renwick's up there, directing his attention to that. So let me roll initiative for these things, just so that we have it. Alright. Oh, why is it GM? How dare you? Oh, it's been so long I haven't done the whisper toggle for this. Okay. Now... Sort this... Oh, it doesn't really matter that they all rolled well, except for the fact that when you get there you might get hit first. So, how do you guys want to approach this? Where do your dudes go? After hearing what you hear and sort of having a good idea of where these Ankeks are. I will go into initiative order if it's silence. Tadias, what's Tadias doing?
I'm gonna wing out and jump out of the tower wherever we were and go fly over, see where they seem to be populating.
Well, you can see it looks exactly like I have it on the board here. There's one in each of these.
That's all visible from the wall?
It's all visible from the wall.
Then I'm gonna start with these huts because that looks like where people will get hurt most likely.
Yeah, you can see you can see this thing being lit up by the fire, and what little bit of daylight there is left. Very, very little daylight. Okay, so Tadias wings out and heads that way. Okay. What about Vox? You can move your token, by the way.
Well, she's gonna get up on this side of the wall and peek her head over, kind of, and try to get to, that area. But she does see that one there, so she's gonna go after that one.
Okay, so she's gonna head toward that area. Cool. So, Tadias heads over to this way. All right. What about Zachariel?
How high is the... Like, how high
you're
are
not,
we up on the
you're, you're not up on the battlements, actually.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well,
You're on the ground the whole time.
Okay, well, he's just going to run down the street to where this one is.
Okay.
Kind of making his way towards, like, Tadias' area, as he knows that the shacks are probably more vulnerable. But, I mean, he sees the immediate threat, so he will move that way.
Alrighty.
Oh, someone roll for hum.
I did, just now. Alright.
Oh.
Well, then, where's Delia gonna go?
So, Delia's gonna follow Tadias because he's inebriated. And will I have time to cast Mage Armor on myself as my short little gnome legs are running over there?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
In fact, you might miss out on a turn. But you do have... So, like, the marker is to scale. So if you have spells that can, like, do the range of this from your token, you can feel free to do it. In fact, I would say that we might spend... If you're heading toward Tadias, we might spend a little bit of time on your turn of you getting there. Well, Because Tadias flew there. That's the only reason I say that. And he's like got a 90-foot speed.
Oh, okay. So I can just
You might be able to contribute to what Vox is doing. And I guess Hum is probably just Hum is probably just helping Zachriel. Okay.
So are we moving based on initiative?
Not.
There's no way I can run right down to that.
No, not really. You're just gonna be there, and then we'll roll through initiative just to have who acts first and everything. Okay. And Hum will be with Zachriel. Okay. So Zachriel, you can see past this Ankeg down the road, where there's a little bit of torchlight lighting up this Ankeg. You can see there's guardsmen shooting arrows at it, fighting at it with spears, and they seem to be holding their own okay. You get to the Ankeg here, and there's a couple of guards that are fighting it, just to paint the picture. Nox, as you approach this one, it sort of sees you, and it just kind of sweeps its pincers at some of the soldiers around it, and it stares you down, and as you get close enough, it just rears up its head and sprays acid at you, and I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. Oh, you have evasion, so you totally dodge this nasty spray of acid. Tadias, as you get there, describe to me how you approach. I just want to know.
I'm kind of like hovering over, and as soon as I see one, I immediately like swoop down and try to drop right on top of it.
Okay, you're all right. So then, in that case, just because you rolled a little bit higher, he's going to swipe up at you with a claw, and we'll just use the bite thing. 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
So I'm not going to include the acid because it uses its claw. So 8 slashing as you come at it. This one does its thing, a little bit of damage. I'll say that Hum gives Zachriel inspiration. And Tadias, you're locked in combat with this Ankeg, with a couple of soldiers around you. You're granted advantage because of the couple of guards that's helping you with the Ankeg.
Gotcha. Then I'm just gonna take out the Bloodflint dagger and just kind of slice it up as much as I can.
All right.
Really trying to interpose myself between anyone who looks like a civilian in these houses. Do you want me to make those rolls?
I do.
15 to hit?
15 hits as you break its carapace open and get in there.
7 damage?
Yeah. The fire does work.
Alright, an 11.
11 damage.
I will make my second attack.
That's a
13 to hit.
You actually have normal because between the...
I'm drunk, right?
And you have help from the soldiers, which is...
Right, so 14.
So 14 hits.
Okay.
For a solid 11 again.
And I think I opened up a weakness, so I'm going to go like slide under it and try to stab it right up.
Piece of its carapace just kind of flakes off like when you eat crab.
Alright, let's see if we can crab roast him.
That's a hit.
Alright, that and the dice for the Seeker stuff. 1 second.
You rolled 11 damage each time with different numbers. Oh, the Seeker one too, yeah.
And the 3 for exploit.
Alright. This creature is messed up. We'll see if he has another opportunity. Vox. You come in here and there's a bunch of soldiers, spearmen, wearing, just to describe it a little bit better, they're wearing breastplates, and they have trousers on, and they're sort of just trying to open up a weak spot for their comrades, and you come in, you have advantage on whatever you do.
I come in with my sword.
All right. That's a hit. For 10 piercing, you get sneak attack. Alright, for 28 damage in total, as you shatter a piece of its carapace, or you go for a joint, and yeah, you get the meat. Alright. Zachary, this Ankeg is coming for you. It tries to bite. 17.
Miss.
So this creature tries to come in with its mandibles, and how do you, just give me a little flavor, how do you get out of the damage?
I just, as it's coming down with his mandibles, I just bash it in the mouth with the targe.
Alright, and now it's your turn.
And as part of that bash, where are the soldiers that are fighting engaged with this in relation to me and the creature?
They're taking up this surrounding of it, and they're all sort of trying to get it distracted as much as they can so that it opens up like a joint for a weak spot. It seems like they're very well trained in like the art of this fighting. And they sort of make room for you in a way when you approach.
Okay, I was gonna try something, but alright, well, I'll save that for another time. As part of the bashing it in the mouth to block its attack, I'll try and knock it down.
Alright. Oh no, you don't knock it down.
Oof.
It seems stable and just kind of goes at you.
Alright. Well, I will swing at the...
That's a hit. Their AC is 14. Alright.
And seeing that they're kind of like maneuvering themselves, I'm going to go ahead and tack on a blinding onto that.
Alright. But by the way, you have advantage because they're all helping you.
Oh. Let me see if I crit.
Nope.
No. Oof.
Oof. But, what's blinding attack do? What save?
It is a Constitution save, DC 16.
Oh no. It's blinded.
Blind it until the end of my turn.
So it has disadvantage on its next attacks. Alright. Delia, describe for me what you're doing on the
I
way.
still have another attack.
Oh, I'm sorry. Please go for it.
I shall.
That's a crit.
Hey, you know what?
Math is hard.
You don't get to see these very often.
Ooh, brutal attack.
It's 3 times, right?
That's what it says. $25? 25 damage, and this thing is messed up. Alright. Delia, what are you doing on your way to meet, or on the way to help Tadias? As you see...
So, Delia is just running as fast as her little gnome legs can carry her. She stumbles a little bit, and she's going to come around here, and I think that puts me within range for a fireball on this one.
There's like 3 soldiers and Vox around it, and plus it's kind of near a building.
I mean, I'm a School of Evocation wizard.
I know, you can carve
So
out the
I
dudes,
can-
but the building's a little bit dicey.
Like, even if I aim it, like, further away from the building?
Probably not. Alright.
So we're just going to be doing a drive-by fireball.
Sounds awesome.
Delia grew up in the gnome hood.
Delia grew up in the gnome hood, and that fails too. It's not going to survive this. Yeah, you cook it in its shell. And Vox, like, this fireball explodes in front of you, and the flames surround you harmlessly.
Must be the cape.
Must be the cave. All right. So on your next turn, Delia, you'll be with Tadias.
Okay.
Alrighty. You seems like the soldiers are holding it their own, but you hear a scream of pain as one of them gets clipped by a claw. That one is dead. Tadias, this one takes you on, and it spits at you. I need you to make a dex save. Oh no. You get hit with Ankeg acid for 12 acid damage as it sprays in the air at you.
Did it burn any of my coat?
You have to check it later.
Oh no.
So same deal here, where this Ankeg is being taken on by a few guardsmen, and one of them gets injured. Hum is going to... let's have her cast a thing. She'll look at the Ankeg and say, you should have never come here. We'll see if it can survive, or if it can pass that whiz save. Nope. And guess what, everybody? Hum kills this thing with Vicious Mockery, as it just kind of crumples and falls down. Tadias, it's your turn.
Okay, day then. I'm gonna do the same thing I did before. We're gonna stab it.
It's very, yeah, that's a hit.
Oh, I was waiting for the very thing to end.
I don't even remember. Oh, it's very hurt, and now it's so hurt it's dead, as you carve out some of its meat.
Excellent. And then with my bonus action and dashing, can I make it anywhere near the G1 or no?
What's the ruler say?
Oh, no, those are way longer than I expected.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll just 90 feet that way.
Yeah. You can move your dude 90 feet.
Oh, I can only do 60, actually.
60. Alright. Great. Vox.
Gonna head towards the scream as far as I could. I think I too can bonus action.
We are going to
Dash.
sort of... Yeah, we are sort of going to abstract it a little bit. I'm just going to say that it's going to take you guys 2 rounds to get there. To get to the next site.
So I'm down to 6 rounds of wings, okay.
Yeah.
So should I move halfway? Or?
Yeah, move halfway to where you're planning on going.
Oh, right, I'm supposed to add damage to that as well. Whoops, I might not have gotten sprayed. My bad, let's go.
Alright, Delia is caught... caught in the dust.
I mean, yeah, I'm over here technically, but I think that was as far as I can get. I got tiny little gnome legs.
Tiny little gnome legs. Make her roll. Again, you see the same, or you don't see, but you hear the same voice, the same scream from a guardsman that took a hit, and you hear a grunt, and you hear somebody cry out a name. KO'd! And that one's dead. Let's see if that one can hold their own. Ooh, yeah, alright. You hear this Ankeg over here screech out in pain as it's being attacked, and as a few licks are gotten in. Hum is going to dash alongside Zachriel, trailing behind him. Tadias, another turn, you make it to the site, wherever you're going.
Yeah, I'm going down towards the gate, I guess.
Okay. When you get there, you see there is 3 guardsmen engaged with this thing, and 1 is on the ground. Doesn't look too good for them. So you're there, and you'll have to wait until your next turn to act.
Sounds good.
Vox, where are you going?
Still going towards that. The one that Tadias is going.
Okay. So you get there, but you can't act until your next turn. Zachariel, same for you. You arrive there just in time to engage with this thing. Delia, you get to move a little bit more. This Ankeg at the gate turns to meet Vox head-on and is going to try to bite her. Ooh. So, you are grappled, Vox. And this thing starts to try to chew on you. Zachariel, this one, tries to bite him. 15, doesn't hit.
Yes.
Continues and she throws inspiring words your way. You already have inspiration. Dias, you can act.
Alright, I'll just run up on this boy and start slicing.
Alright, you see Vox is caught in this thing. You have advantage, counteracts your drunkenness.
So yeah, I'm gonna put like Rezier in my other hand. I'm just gonna kind of like spin around angrily, just wailing my limbs around at it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna improvise.
Alright.
So a drunken improvisation. I throw the dagger, it hits the ground. I'm like, "Nah," and I'm gonna throw my hand axe to hit the dagger and try to bounce it into it.
That somehow works.
Drunken luck, right?
Yeah. Alright.
A little bit of a fist bump as I slice with the Rezier on the second one.
It's a hit. 9. Okay.
Cool. And I guess it has a weakness somewhere, so I'm gonna run up and grab both the daggers and kind of pull them out. I'll attack with the blood flint though.
It is stat.
Oh, I forgot to add 9 radiant damage to my first attack though.
Oh.
Because I still have wings.
Another 9. You got it.
Yeah, there we go. And then one last attack. 13
misses. Alright.
That'll be it. I'll stand right there, giving advantage to Vox as much as I can.
Vox, you are grappled, but you're not restrained, as you're in this creature's maw. So you can imagine mandibles like around Vox's waist, lifting her into the air, digging into her flesh.
I'm gonna try and cut it.
Yeah.
Get my dagger out and try and cut it.
Alright.
Do I have an advantage or no?
You do, because you're being helped. That's a hit.
Oof.
Has no spell casting, but that's definitely a hit, and you have sneak attack. So you drive... Damn, that was a good roll. You drive your dagger into the creature's head, and the carapace snaps, and that nasty ichor just starts to spew out. Zachariel, you can act.
I act. This thing is surrounded as well, right?
Yeah, he is.
Alright, I swing.
As you start assaulting this thing, you see one of the soldiers kind of hold his gut and start to fall back.
Alright, I'm gonna move myself to interpose so he can withdraw.
Totally.
And since I see him trying to withdraw, I'll try to knock this thing prone before I hit it.
Yeah. There's no way you could fail this.
But don't say that.
Well, you have a +8. There's no way you could fail
That's
this. So he's prone. You definitely have advantage for sure now. Yeah, it's a hit.
So Zekir kind of like, he swings the first attack and then through the carnage, sees this guy trying to back away, and he does like a pirouette around the side and slams the shield into the creature's abdomen or whatever, bug part. And
8 bludgeoning.
dizzy.
Delia.
I guess I'm just gonna keep running.
Poor Delia. Alright, that one's dead. That one on Zachriel. Gonna try to grapple him. 19 to hit?
That's a miss.
That's a miss. Well, fuck. I'm just going to approach, and she takes a look at this thing up and down as it's lit up by torchlight and says, "You look malnourished." And it fails the save, and it kind of screeches a little bit. Tadias and Vox, do you guys head toward Zachriel? What are you doing?
Yes, I Voxwood.
Alright. You can get there in 2 rounds. What about Tadias? Does he intend?
Similarly,
Alright.
I'll just fly a little bit up as I'm doing it. Kind of give Vox a wink as I'm flying by.
Alrighty. Zachriel.
Oh.
Hit. For 8 bludgeoning. That's a hit. You finish him off. As you hear a nasty crack, and ichor starts flowing out, and this creature just falls over dead.
Yeah, just kind of like jam Sudi in and then push down on it so like the chitin pops up.
Yeah. You're out of initiative.
Delia's a little out of breath from running around the whole city. You guys never save any action for me.
I'm sorry, I wasn't sober enough to take you.
You hear a clang, 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 clang from the north side of town, and you hear Renwick's voice, and it sounds like he's standing right next to you as he says, All clear!" And all the guards around you visibly relax.
Zachary's gonna kind of not like sprint, but rush over to the guy who's kind of beat up a little bit and try and help him out.
Yeah, he's a couple of the other guardsmen are already assisting him, and they're standing him up, and they say says we need to get him to town hall. We have infirmary there.
Tadias is gonna kind of like walk on over and kind of like tap him on the chest and give him 9 points of HP. Make sure he gets there safely.
He looks down. Guys, I think I'm fine. And he like pats his stomach. Yep.
If you're feeling good, then you definitely deserve a drink. Come on.
Won't say no to that. Although I'm still on duty.
Best
Yeah,
time to
so
drink.
was Tadias.
Alright. Well, what else do you guys... Anything of note that you want to do? Do you want to have a scene with this guy?
Not unless we need to. If you want me to, I'll drink up with this dude. I just wanted another excuse to get back in there. Felt like I got cut on my time.
Well, then you see Tadias walk back, and Hum's like, "Hey, we're supposed to keep watch the whole night, at least in shifts."
The whole night?
Yes, that's what I volunteered us for. In shifts, like a
Wow.
regular watch.
How fast do they reproduce? We killed like 7, 8 of them.
She looks at Delia.
Fine, I'll buy a bottle and I'll go hang out with Renwick.
Tadias,
Hi.
perhaps hold off on the drink tonight,
Hello.
at least till sunrise. Hi.
Hello, kitties. So we just had a short encounter with Ankegs that came up under the ground, and the excavators helped the soldiers, and now it's the after of that.
I tell you
Awesome
what,
thought.
Tadias. Oh, go ahead.
Go right ahead.
I tell you what, Tadias, if you don't drink the rest of the night, and actually do your god duty, and I know that'll be hard for you, I'll buy all your drinks the next time we drink together.
You make miserable deals, but I'll take it.
All right.
He kicks like a little rock in the road and begins walking off to the palace again.
So, the rest of the night, maybe to Tadias' chagrin, is incident-free. And you all obviously get enough sleep. Go ahead and restore your characters as long rests happen. And we jump into the next day.
I don't actually remember if I used any charges, but just to be sure.
Charges of what?
The shield?
Oh, I don't think you did. You haven't
I don't
used
see any in the
you
chat.
haven't used any for days, so it's full.
Okay. I was going to use it in that fight.
Ah. All right, so morning comes, and you guys actually, where just really quick, where did you guys sleep on your off shift? You got a tavern. You've got Derek has would have invited you to crash at his place if you wanted. Just real quick, where do you think you'd be? Where do you wake up?
Delia would probably be like in the inn.
Okay.
I think Zachary will ever wanting to do his best and be on guard probably slept on the palisade.
Surprisingly enough, I thought Tadias would do that as well. Just kind of wrap himself up in the new cloak and just kind of hang out there.
There's a point in the night where a lone Ankeg was approaching town. No other Ankegs showed up, but you saw Renwick just shoot a very bright, potent-looking firebolt at it, and it just made it explode. But other than that, it was a peaceful night.
Hum would have stayed with wherever the guys were.
Oh, Vox would have been in the inn.
Okay.
As she got hurt and she wanted to tend to her wounds.
So what are you guys doing on this morning of Kythron 27?
Probably time to talk about going to the monastery.
You guys gather together somewhere. Where do you gather?
I guess the tavern is probably the best place.
All right. Gather at the tavern.
I would like to have breakfast ready for everyone before they get there.
Do you try to get into the kitchen?
Oh no, like if he's up and making breakfast, I'll like be like, "Hey, could I get like breakfast for everyone? I'm sure they're gonna be coming."
Oh, sure. He says, making an omelet of onion and green onion. We grow a few onions, different types of onions here.
Is that the double onion omelet?
The place smells
Oh.
like onions.
It smells great.
Yeah, when Tadias arrives, he starts digging into this double omelet, and he nods and thanks Delia. It's real good.
And I'm gonna give the guy 1 gold for breakfast. Unless it's more, then I'll give him more.
It's gonna be a gold and a half.
Okay. So I'll give him 2 gold.
All right.
So yeah, one of those drow still live here.
He says, Oh no, their name's not in the entry for the location, but in the pre-session notes? Oh god. Oh, Michael, why would you do this to yourself? Do have names, it's just I have to look in the previous session note. In there. Aha! Yeah, the innkeep says, where'd it go? Crad, the barkeep, says, they're half-drow. But, Kendall and Meadow, yeah, they both still work during the nights.
It's good. They're good people.
He says, they have a delicious onion crop every year.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it. Do onions just taste better when worked at night? Speaking of which, I think I should stock up on some before we leave, when we're returning to Full Stride.
Wouldn't that?
I could make you some onion soup.
Ooh, onion soup is so good.
Been hearing rumors of another cook in Full Stride, so you'd up my ante.
You know, I think that they were talking, that other group was talking about how Chadicus had made something really delicious and he was the best cook.
Really?
I mean, you see the size of him, he probably eats better than he cooks.
That's true.
You should challenge him to a cooking contest, Zachriel.
Well, you know, I'd be more interested in sharing recipes.
So you're okay with being second best cook in Fourth Stride?
I'm still learning. I'm not great at everything.
Okay, if you insist.
But I do like the sound of a cook-off on the giant stage.
That does sound good.
You hear, or you hear from Suni, Zachriel. She says, I'm happy that dying hasn't made you, or hasn't changed your humbleness.
I'm happy to know you're... Where? I'm so confused. I'm happy to have you. I say that out loud too. I'm not
You say that out loud.
Not supposed to drink on the job, Zachriel.
Oh, well, I mean, one could not, right?
You alright?
Perhaps 7 is a little excessive, but
I just, it looked like a 1 to me. It looks very similar.
I mean, 7 for Tadias is... I mean, it's a lot, but it's not like...
We've been through a lot. I might have been doing a little more than I should have. Thank you for reining me in.
anytime, Uncle.
I'm not calling you Dad.
Good, that would be strange.
So, are we ready to get going? We only have ambushes and giant leaping lizards to deal with.
Well, now hold on a second. I bought you guys breakfast because I wanted to butter you guys up for this. And Delia pulls out her spell book, and it is a laborious tome. It's very large. And she plops it onto the table. And she says, I think I need to show you guys what I'm working with here.
Could we get the non-magically inclined version?
Basically, well, see, now that messes up all my plans.
Okay, well, you continue, and I'll have. You need to tell me. Simplify it.
Basically, I specialize in magics that go boom.
Yes.
So,
Very good at it.
I just think that we need to be a little more in tune with each other's abilities so that we might harmonize better, maybe? Question mark?
Oh my god. You're finally willing to discuss battle strategy. I'm the happiest father.
Yes, that's essentially where I'm going with this. And she like flips through her pages. I'm not good at strategy, so I would like to learn.
Alright, we need a chalkboard.
I'm not sure if they have those here, but she flips some more pages, and there's a couple of like, you know, when they sign your high school yearbook, there's a couple of blank pages, and then her little animated quill like pops out and is ready to start writing. You can tell it whatever, and it'll draw it for you.
Draw Delia and run with kissing.
No, don't
Start
do
scribbling.
That.
Heart around it.
I put my hands like on the paper to try and stop it.
Forever. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah. All right.
It starts scribbling. Yeah, it's funny.
Delia and Renwick sitting in a tree.
Oh, hang on now. Draw Tadias and Katie kissing.
Is that what Katie looks like?
I've seen Katie.
I feel like Renwick has some more defining features.
Go nuts.
Katie is beautiful.
Oh, here we go.
Oh no.
This is what the rest of the
Let
session's
me
gonna
get
be.
my tablet.
I don't have my tablet on this computer yet. Alright, give it to me, Delia. What you got?
You all gather around this paper with the magic quill.
So once the doodling is done, we'll actually talk about battle tactics. Is that the plan?
Battle tactics out the window. We are now drawing pictures of lovers.
Let's see. So I imagine that it's like
a football thing.
it's like not very good drawings.
Yes.
Wow. Amazing.
Now, does your spellbook actually have the Tadias pig drunk drawing in it?
Yes, it does.
Is that canon now, the doodle?
It is.
Outstanding. Oh man, where is that?
It's literally my avatar.
I know it's your avatar,
Always
but the original picture is like so back in time.
I would just do searches on, like, the text chats.
Would I even use as a keyword? I mean, sure, from...
Bacon?
I think pig?
Orchidus?
You never called me Porcidus until now. Somehow worse than bacon.
Good luck trying to find it.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. But, yeah, it's canon. Anyway.
Battle strategy. I think we got a little distracted.
Hum is over furiously scribbling a song.
Well, we have to focus on our strengths. Obviously, Hum, you and Delia tend to be in the back, but Hum, you also stab people, so...
Yes, I like to stab people and shoot them.
A noble pursuit.
So, generally speaking, Delia, you're in the rear, blasting. Hum, you're more towards the front line in between Delia and the rest of us.
I like to think that it starts, like, sketching out, like, small things of your characters. Little avatars.
Vox, what are your... Sorry, we haven't really fought together much. What do you prefer to do? Are you more of a ranged person, or would you prefer to be up in the fray?
Oh, up in the fray, of course.
Okay.
I too like to stab.
Well, my general thought of how we should be conducting our combat, and obviously things happen and we can't always plan for everything, but Tadius is very quick. He's able to act as an aid for the upfront and the rear. So I see him more as a go-between.
I can just as well get beat up in the front as in the back, it appears.
It is true. You're good at taking a punch.
That's why I drink, Make it easier to take all the punches. See, I have battle strategy. You just don't give me credit.
I guess so. Though you have a habit of getting bitten.
You really do.
Oh, is that how you turned into a pig? Fox asks Tadius.
Tadius starts looking for something to drink.
I mean, you are in the bar.
Tadius drinks.
Should we play that game again?
Oh god, it's... Oh, day drinking.
Well, let's save it for maybe when these all could actually join us. You can keep up pretty well, but I don't know about them. As I kind of point towards both the...
Psh, who are you talking about?
Talking about you.
Whatever. Let's drink off right now.
No, listen, we can have
And what time is it?
Sun's up. We're fine.
Yeah, but we have to go to the monastery.
Fine. Tonight, me and you, miss.
No. When we get back from the monastery, you can drink.
And Zachariel's paying for it, so we
And
can
I'm
wait.
paying.
Oh, I heard about that. That's great.
All right. Well, I'm always up in the front, and I imagine that, and I apologize, Delia, but I imagine, and Hum, sometimes when I knock things over to gain the advantage for us, it kind of hampers your abilities.
Well, sometimes when you run right at the bad guys and you stand in the middle, that kind of hampers the magic.
Well, the way I've been trained my whole life is to charge into your fights and interpose yourself in between the enemy and your allies and try to control the battlefield.
Well, sometimes the magics we use, they tend to be in big areas of effect, so a lot of the area is affected. And so if you're standing there with the bad guys, sometimes it's hard to get in there and use those spells, and they're pretty effective.
You know, I won't be mad at you if you hit me with a spell. I'm quite durable.
Oh, you might be mad at me if I hit you with a spell.
Well, yeah, but you seem to be very good at missing or causing your spells to move around.
What?
Oh, okay. Okay. She snaps the book closed. I see how it is.
Okay, I misspoke. I'm sorry.
It's skillful evasion.
Whoa. Okay. My internet almost died. Keep going, please.
Yeah, we'll call it that. Whatever it is, you're very good at it.
I don't have that same power. Mine are, well, and I've changed some of my spells because of you, so it's okay.
You know, oh god.
Yeah.
As I've said, I'm perfectly fine with taking the brunt of a spell or two. I would sooner defeat the enemy than not.
So what is this strategy? I'm hearing a lot of, politeness, but it doesn't sound like we're making plans to kill anything or deal with things. Is it just put Zachariel as a meat shield and then everyone else do whatever?
Well, I really think one of the major shortcomings that we have as a team is we're not fighting as a cohesive unit. We should be focusing on the same targets, calling them out.
A lot of my spells that I have affect multiple people. And I suppose if there's more than one enemy, we could group them together, and it would be much easier for me to hit all of them at the same time if they're packed close together.
And I'm cool with if we're going to hit one person. So just tell me where to do.
Sounds like Zachariel's going to be kind of the
Shot caller?
the battle captain, or something like that.
Well, he is the one with most battle experience.
Well,
Hey,
we
you
don't
all-
know how long Vox has been here. She may be a low rank, but she could have much more experience than Zachariel.
Well, with the rate that we kill things, she could very well be a veteran as quick as I have.
Yes, hanging out as a Sembus party bumps you in numbers. So, Delia does big things. So, if I'm the fastest, as you're saying, my goal is to get them all in one.
Well, you're very strong. We could probably help with the bunching up of enemies.
I'm a pretty good healer. I mean,
You're a
As
great
healers go.
healer. But you're also terrifying.
well, there's that.
Which is why I think you're better suited just behind us. You could still be within range to stab people, but you're also very small. You could, like, stab between Tadias' legs.
I've never not done that.
The
I'm
amount
cool
of
with that.
the amount of crossbow bolts that might have, like, rendered me sterile, it was dangerously high for a time being.
I did never really hit you.
They were close. I felt breezes.
Yeah, but none of them ever hit you, and it's been a long time.
You see him, like, swallow a little bit. So just, yeah, that's good.
And it's not my intention. So, I mean, if it became my intention, it probably happened. But it's not my intention.
Talk about that.
Tadias, if you're worried about your chance of becoming a father, perhaps maybe a little less drinking, a little bit more dates. Although drinking helps with that too.
I'm not ready to be a father.
That's a great experience.
Oh, you don't want somebody tiny like me coming around and going, "Daddy."
You never know until you have it.
There's too much for us to do. I'd be selfish.
It is not. You take that back right now, Tadias.
I won't. That's how I feel.
Well, I think it's a noble feat to be a father right now.
I see what you're doing, but I actually kind of agree with Tadias. With the state of the land, it's not a place for children to be.
If we stop having children, then what does the next generation look like?
Well, we're not going to stop. We're just putting it on pause. Don't worry. I'm sure Tadias will be a father in no time.
Tadias gives him like a "say what" kind of look.
The magic pen does that.
Were you using kids to
no
distractions?
No distractions. The only well, I guess.
Don't.
Anyway, look. It's very hard to plan for a battle that you don't know is happening. So, the main takeaway, I guess, is for us to work more as a cohesive unit. I mean, you remember the way that those hobgoblins were fighting? They were all standing side by side, focusing on the same targets. You could learn a lot from militaristic clan. Even here, look at the gods, the way they were fighting. They were providing openings for everyone.
Well, I will take some of the advice to heart, and I will work on my performance, and I will be expecting my next grade in the next quarter.
All right. And one more thing. Recently, we've been coming in contact with more of these more arcane or divine wielders. Perhaps it would be best to focus on those. Take them out of the fight so they don't cause someone to go insane and start turning on their allies. Or healing. I don't know. I think the Sculptus, they're fanatics, but they fight together.
It's true. However, if I remember correctly, the Earth ones don't do as much magic.
Not from what we've seen, anyway.
If I see a caster, I'll target them.
Speaking of which, Delia,
Yes.
how much do you know about these bugs?
Nature check. Not too much.
Do you know if I know some creatures like the rock elementals, of course, they're able to sense movement through the ground. Do you know if they possess this?
No, I don't really know. Most of my studies haven't really been focused on creatures from this plane.
Well, Renwick's been dealing with them for a bit. But perhaps we could ask him. My point I'm trying to get at here is there a way that we could mask our footfalls potentially to anything that could be feeling or listening? I don't know how that works.
Well, I know that there's spells that will like make you fly or make you hover, but other than that, I'm not sure.
Could be a good thing. And I remember that lizard thing that leaped out of the ground. I imagine that probably has some sort of sense for footfalls on the ground.
It's true. I mean, how would they find like the town otherwise? From like underground.
Well, I think that concludes our strategy, unless anyone else has comments. Okay, off to the monastery, I guess.
Sounds good to me.
As the party just sits there.
Delia's gonna gather her book and head out the door.
Coming.
Following after them.
Follows.
Okay.
I'm here.
Where are you guys going?
I think we're gonna go to the gate and just see who's there.
A couple of guards are on watch, just watching the mountainside. And coming out of the guardhouse is a disguised Renwick. Ah, you're leaving.
Good God, man, do you ever sleep?
He gets close and he says, I pretend when I have to. I don't require sleep.
You must get a lot done.
Had its own disadvantages, but nonetheless, I take it you're heading for the old monastery.
Yes, I have a question for you.
He gestures.
These creatures, do they have any sort of ability to sense us, like our footfalls?
They do have the ability to detect tremors in the ground, yes.
Do you know of a way that we could potentially mask it or at least aid ourselves?
He says, you could put cotton underneath your shoes, but that would only work for so long.
And will that work for the giant lizard things as well?
What giant lizard things are you talking about?
The bullets?
Bullets.
Oh, the bullets. He actually asks that same question, and I guess you describe those creatures to him. And, says, if I recall, they have the same sense up to a point, but I don't think you'd be able to get the drop on them.
Was more just trying to not to attract unwanted attention as we're moving up there.
You could put cotton on the bottom of your shoes. That might work.
However, in hindsight, any attention that we attract would keep the town safe, so...
Putting more attention on yourselves would divert their attention, yes.
We're going to have to fight bugs, Zachary. I'll get over it. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to say, how do they reproduce? Is there a queen? Do they only need two? What do we need to do to stop them?
He looks thoughtful for a moment and says, they tend to lay many, many eggs in nests. And this nest could be anything. But they tend to be a congregation of them. So if you can find that, you'd have a good chance of thinning their numbers quite a bit.
And they're underground, so if we could have a way of collapsing the nest, it would make it difficult for them, right?
They can burrow, but
I mean, like the crushing walls of like rocks on top of them.
Ah, yes.
Right. That might be our play. We have our own demolition crew, and as I turn back to Delia for a second.
I do have Thunderwave prepared today.
Either that or turning into something that can burrow yourself.
Ooh, that's true.
I wonder if we could turn into one of those bullets. What do you think, Delia?
Oh my god, you can. Wait, no, it's polymorph. No, you can't,
Yeah.
actually.
There are polymorph
It's-
targets that do have burrowing speeds. I don't know if bullets are. I think they're
It's
abominations or whatever.
They're monstrosities.
Monstrosities, yeah.
Well, that kind of sucks.
Welp. What do you do?
Dice is ready to go. He nods at Zachariel.
Ready?
He says, good luck and don't hesitate to sending me if you require any assistance. Or advice.
Leah smiles at him and waves as they head out.
Smiles back.
You didn't want to show him your battle strategy guide, see if he had any points on it?
Nope.
Right.
You guys head up the up the trail that leads to Sacred Stone Monastery, and it is a quiet walk up with just the wind surrounding you. And it's not that far of a walk, and by late morning, you find this familiar sort of opening through the pathway that leads into the small, not valley, but it's like a circle. It's almost like a crater, except not. It's just surrounded by crags, and it's the location of the monastery. And I will change the ambience. I prepared better ambience for this. Temple of Woodica it is. Oops.
So are we just gonna, like, walk in there? Or how are we... If there's people here, how are we getting in? I mean, I'm not opposed to just... you know, storming the place.
I don't imagine the Yonkeg are actually inside it, so might be good to get a foothold and then start searching tunnel.
Well, we have a good idea of the general layout of the top of the monastery. We could probably secure some sort of hold and work our way through.
So how do you approach the monastery? Because you, well, it's been a while since you've been here. Roll a history check. Okay, Tadias, do you remember cleanly that this place has two entrances? There's the one that you initially went through under the advisement of Ron Haro, and there's also the front entrance.
Ron Haro was Derek's son, right?
No.
Oh, it's a different person's son.
Different person, but he was the son of the captain of the guard.
Gotcha. All right. So as we were walking up the pass, I'll remind them of that tunnel we used. We could use it again.
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah, I'll lead the way. I'm going to go start leading to that little offshoot where we saved him.
You make your way to that little offshoot. You find the sort of whole cave in the ground, and you follow it for a little bit, and you come across a dark slate stone wall.
I'm pretty sure this wasn't here before.
You're pretty sure this wasn't here before.
They've been renovating.
I'm gonna cast Mage Armor on myself real quick.
Okay. What do you do?
Can I knock on it and see how thick it is?
You knock on it, and it's pretty solid. I don't know how you figure out how thick it is.
Like if there's an echo behind it, like if it's one wall.
Oh no, it's like it's a solid, like there's no echo or anything. It's just tunk.
Damn. Guess the direct approach.
As you guys make your way back to that entrance to the valley, you can sort of see that the entrance of the place has been sort of demolished. Like the walls that surround the door have just come down, and it's now just this 80-foot opening. You approach.
I look at the rest of the group. We just walking in.
Well, it seems more plausible than flying.
I can't carry all of you.
All right. So masonry is strewn about. Let me adjust things. Oh no, what? Why can't anybody... Oh, there you go. You can see sort of into the whole temple, like the whole, what's the room called there? The main room where, everybody except Vox remembers the fight with Helen Ray in here.
The foyer?
No, not the foyer. This is the foyer, but I'm talking about, like, all the way up here.
Am I supposed to see something? Because all I see is black.
I don't know.
Here we go again.
Well, that's... Why doesn't your token have...
There's two of me as well.
There's two of you. Where?
There's two of Zachariel, too.
Where?
Right here.
What?
I see.
I
don't see him.
only see one of
Neither
each
do
of
I.
you.
I see two of Delia now, too.
Try
And
refreshing...
now there is two hums.
Try refreshing your page. It might be your connection. Okay, well, stay in that foyer area for a second and refresh your page.
Refreshed, I still have two.
What the hell? How? Where are they? Use the pointer. Or not the pointer. Use the ruler tool. It's more precise. Yeah, I mean, there's a Tadais here. There's a hum here. That's it. It could be your cache. Alright, hang on. Wait, go back. Trying to make your thing refresh. Oh god, what's going on here? Oh, there we go. Okay. Are you still seeing double?
Of everyone.
What? Where are they? The camera's not seeing it.
I'm not seeing double.
And there's nobody there. Might be time to teach you guys fantasy grounds.
I'm restarting my Explorer, my
Who's all seeing double?
Well, I know I am. I don't know if Miles still is.
I'm also seeing double. I can just delete a token, though.
Sure, delete it. Tell me when you deleted it. Oh, well, you deleted your main token. Delete both of them, and I'm just going to drag you back on.
I deleted both of them.
Do you see yourself?
I do.
Dice?
Got it.
Jesus Christ. Is anyone else seeing double?
My only problem is I see double of everybody else still too.
Leave the first ones here. Take the ones that are good in this first room, and we'll be fine.
Yep.
Okay, hang on. I gotta do something. Okay.
But it's almost like the paper, like Tadias and I were the only ones that could see it, and then nobody else could.
Might be time for fantasy
It
grounds.
was, wasn't it?
It was.
Okay. So, we're all good? No doubles?
Yepers, we're fine.
Great. As you guys mount the stairs, You can see a clear line into the temple area where you all, Sans Vox, took out Helen Ray. Standing on watch are 2 Black Earth guards. And you see lounging against the other pillar is one of the monk guys with the masks, with the gargoyle mask. And as you guys walk up there, they take readied stances. And one of them bellows out, "They're here! Go to the temple and tell Marlos!" Roll initiative.
Did you say Marlos?
I did. You've heard that name. Oh, I haven't used these guys in so long. I haven't done a thing for them either.
1 second, I have to get my card open again because I refreshed.
Oh my god.
And okay. Sort this. Okay. I'll go with that one because it's already here. Alrighty. It's Vox's turn.
Okay, now who did he say, like, which one was gonna go running?
This one directed their attention to... Oh boy, I made that too loud. This one, sorry. This one pointed to this guy and addressed him and said, "Go inform Marlos."
Okay, Vox immediately takes out her short bow and shoots at that one.
He is prone, so you're gonna have disadvantage. Because he had not had a chance to stand yet. That is a hit. No sneak attack, unfortunately, but it's a hit. Alright.
Just gonna say, stay right there.
He's scrambling to his feet, but this Black Earth guard... wait a minute. Wait a second, what's going on here? Why'd this page do that? What the fuck?
This is why Fantasy Guards is better.
Yeah, it is. I'm getting very close to wanting to just grit my teeth and make you guys do it. But he advances up to here, and he has just that big club in his hand, and he's just pounding his hand with it. And he just readies the stance. This one also advances to here and readies to move. The monk here scrambles to his feet and just dashes down the stairs. It is now Hum's turn.
Hum is going to try and use... trying to remember. I haven't used this yet. I'm thinking about using Bolt.
Bolt shower?
Oh, I can't hit them both.
You have to pick one, unfortunately.
She's gonna run forward and use her crossbow.
Alright. Who's she aiming for?
It's a young gentleman here.
Alright. It plinks off of his armor.
She's going to use her bonus action to viciously mock him.
Oh. Alright. You look down at the ring and it says, that one looks kind of fat. It's gonna need to make a whiz save. What do you say? It fails.
She looks at him and says, "It must suck to always lose, and you are going to lose."
Alright. He just kind of grunts. Zachriel.
All right, Mike. Game question.
Yeah.
What kind of action do you want to make it for Zachriel now, the commander of this fighting force, to issue commands?
Just talk. You have a free action to talk.
Okay, alright. Jedias, interpose! And he points at the one that Hum shot at for everyone on that.
That's the right one.
Let me, damn. That's too big. Oh well.
So he moves up in front of Hum, but not too close as to that he would be blocking any spells as they talked about.
By the way, to paint a picture, the stars, they're statues. They're statues of gargoyles.
Okay. And he's going to take the dodge action.
Alright.
Those came to life last time, right?
Some of them did. Jedias.
Hum yells that out just to everybody. Remember, those came to life last time.
Are you on push to talk, Miles?
I am. So I was trying to measure out if I could get in range and still interpose. I think I can. Sweet. All right. So yeah, I'm going to be able to throw daggers from there. So I'm going to chuck it at this one that he marked.
Alright.
So I'll start with Rez.
Yeah, it finds a chink in the armor. For 8.
I'm going to follow up with the blood flint.
That's a hit, and he screams out, "Ah!" as the you hear the sizzling sound.
And then I guess I'm going to finish up as I see the weakness of the armor with a hand axe.
Did roll the damage for the blood flint dagger, though. Thank you.
I did.
Oh, this rolls 20. It's a hit.
And 12 there. And plus, what is D8?
Okay, so it's such a powerful assault that several pieces of armor just fall off of this guy, and he's got like he has a gash from the hand axe, and he's bleeding out, and he just Delia.
Okay, I'm gonna send some pink and purple magic missiles at the dude we marked.
All right. All of them?
Yes.
All right, he's dead. It just slams into him, and he just falls flat on his ass. And the other one looks at his companion and growls and starts to charge forward. We'll see that on his turn. Anything else?
Nope, I think that's it.
Box.
As he's charging, she's gonna use her short bow.
All right. That's a hit on him. For 11 piercing as it finds its mark and he growls.
Gonna get up a little bit.
Alright. He advances and you hear him. He looks to his left and right and he says, no time for ambush now! And then he gets up into Dias' face and he's going to take a couple swings at him. There we go. Oh, that's a critical.
That'll hit.
And then, law of averages.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll take the 12.
So he swings in, and he actually moves a lot faster than Tadias is expecting. Clobbers him, and then, but then Tadias kind of picks up on his movements and blocks the other one. Alright, well, indeed, the statue comes to life and zooms toward Vox with its stony wings and starts to try to slash at her. As it goes in for a bite, and it's still GM roll. That was a 12, it misses. And then it goes for a claw for 22. Just for 3 slashing. That guy does the thing. Alright, Hum.
Hum is looking back and forth. She's confused. So she's gonna take a shot at this guy here that's attacking Vok.
Alrighty.
She's gonna shoot 2 charges of magic missiles at him.
Alrighty. So that's plus, or that's, oh, so it's solid 20 damage on this guy. Good hit. Anything else?
She's gonna move up a little bit closer to Vox.
This one does also come to life and goes over to Zachriel. Tries to take a bite at him. For 19.
That's a miss.
And then 5 slashing with the claws, 21.
That's a hit.
It's your turn, Zachriel.
Well, first off, he will say, everyone focus on the man in front of Tadias, and then he will, I'll grab these, the attention of these ones, and he'll attack the first gargoyle.
Alright. Hits. 9.
And I'm going to make that a goading,
Alrighty.
which is a 16 wisdom save.
Somehow you do not goad him, although it looks like he was attacking you already.
Okay. He takes 8 extra damage,
Yep.
and I'll move away from him.
Okay, he does a opportunity attack.
Yep. That's
20.
a hit.
20 for 4 slashing, okay. I mean, piercing, whatever.
And now I'll shove this one to the ground.
Alrighty. It's hovering in the air. We'll see if you can knock it prone. Oh, yeah. It falls down.
And now I'll
Stone
hit it
on
with
stone.
the other.
Ooh. For a 13.
And that'll be it for him.
Alright, Tadias.
Alright, I'm gonna start cutting up the one above me. So we're gonna go blood flint.
That's a hit. He cries out in
10
pain.
damage. Kind of twist it around in my hand and cut him again.
Ah! Oh, that misses as you just hit plate.
As I catch that, I'm gonna use my bonus action to cause my little wind apparatus to start blowing, and that'll be my turn.
Alrighty, Delia.
Okay, I'm gonna move over this way. And I'm gonna send 3 scorching rays at this guy.
Alrighty. Hit. Miss, hit. 4 and 4 for 8 damage in total.
That's sad.
It is sad. But you got them a little bit. Vox, your turn. The creature in front of you is prone.
So when they're prone, I can
You have advantage.
get away?
Well, they'll have disadvantage to attack you, yes. They'll still have an opportunity attack, but they can, they'll have disadvantage on that attack. You can see that it's crumbling a little bit.
Okay, I'll take my sword to the one in front of me.
Alrighty. That's a hit. You'll have sneak attack. Whoa. Solid hit, and it looks like it can't take another one of those. Is there anything else you want to do with your turn? The Black Earth Guard attacks Zachary, or Jedias. Whack. 17, 21.
Both will hit.
8 and 5 bludgeoning. He just growls at you. This gargoyle is going to stand up and take to the skies, and it starts to fly away from both Vox and Zachariel. It's trying to dash.
Is it an attack rate? Like, does it fly above?
It seems like it's just trying to get as far away from you as possible, so it just tries to zoom right by you. That's a miss. You can attack of opportunity box if you want. That's a hit. And I think you have sneak attack because of how that works. So you find a crack in the stone of this creature. You drive the short sword in and twist, and it crumbles. And it just mixes with the masonry. Another thing happens. Hum.
So Hum yells out to Tadias, "Watch your booty! Incoming!" And she shoots a couple more magic missiles that way. She's going to shoot 2 more.
2 more. So then that's times 4, so 8. And
Yeah.
he falls down as the impact hits him. Anything else, Hum?
I think she's going to take space behind Zachriel.
Alright. This gargoyle goes for Zachriel. 7. Nope.
This miss.
23 for 5 slashing.
Yeah.
And that's it. Zachriel.
Alright, I'm trying to knock it out of the sky.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna... Nope. Yeah, you knock it prone.
Then I slam Suni down. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you do.
Damn.
For... What's 8 plus 6? Oh, math is hard, you guys. 14.
14.
And another.
Another one. That's just a hit. As it tries to knock the shovel away with its stone wings. Jedias, it's your turn.
And I'm gonna zip right behind him. I'm gonna take out Rezier, and you're gonna hear 2 silent slashes on his back.
Despite the stone, like, chipping away, it's silent. That's a hit. Also, you have advantage.
Oh, it's prone. Right. Let me roll it again, see if I can crit.
Nope.
No. Alright, cool. So, next one.
That's a hit. And much like Vox, you find a big crack and twist Rezier, and it just crumbles. And you're out of initiative. Unless...
You get hit a lot interposing. As I look at Zachariel and kind of like wipe a little blood from my nose.
Good work.
We have a runner, we should go.
Agreed, no time.
Shouldn't be hard to find.
Okay, so
Let's watch the statue.
are you gonna stay in initiative then? Sort of. Actually, let me. So. Okay. Okay, you follow him. And you make it downstairs. Let me drag your dudes. Do I have all your dudes? I do. Oh, the Black Earth Guard's coming with you. No! Yeah. Bang. And you're down here. You see the corpse of an Umber Hulk. 2 possible directions.
Is there a left and a right?
There's a left and a right.
I'm going left.
Going left.
Wait. I hit him, so would he be bleeding to leave a trail?
Ooh! Yeah, he would. Roll. Do you call that out, Vox?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody can contribute to this survival check. Or perception.
I'll go for some perception. 18.
Yeah, okay, so it's super easy to see where he was going. Good thinking. I'm gonna give you inspiration for that.
So which path is he going down?
Well, I tried to make dots, but yeah. You see a trail of blood leading that way.
You see it always right. Start dashing.
Aha, but then it goes left. Or no, right. You're right, never mind.
Are these bars open?
They are. And you see all of this,
Back to the, when I get there, I'm going to turn back to the rest of the party and kind of look at them a little bit amazed.
these bars are like up open, and actually around you see pieces of the chitin of Ankegs all up on these stairs.
Oh, like they've been torn apart?
No, like bits of the shell just like chipped off as they've been making. It looks like there's been a bunch through here.
Okay.
Should we... We've probably lost the surprise. Should we move slower, more methodical?
Perhaps, yes.
I'm going to try to stealth and move forward.
I didn't do that. Okay. You're gonna try to stealth and move forward. Okay. So you do that. And you don't come up on anybody as you go down these stairs. I'm just gonna drag you to like that. So you make it all around, and you don't see. Whoa. Is Delia going on somewhere else? Whoa. Huh?
It's probably because you moved her while she was moving.
Yes. Anyway. So do you guys descend the stairs?
I believe so. That's where the blood trail leads.
Alright.
Perhaps you should give Tadias a little bit of TLC.
Maybe I should do a little bit more like you because I'm interposing now. And I'm going to actually put on the shield that he gave me with the little, like, pointy bit.
Ooh, okay. You could use that as a weapon.
Oh, I can?
Yeah.
You
Is
also
it
have
considered
11 healing.
a, what's it called? Improvised weapon?
Yeah, and it'll do 1d4 plus your strength piercing.
I have a little bonuses to my improvised. That's what I was asking.
I know you do. What are your bonuses again?
It's the Tavern Brawler thing, so I can trigger all of my bonus action grabs with it. And I think it does just static 1d4 damage unless you say more.
Yeah, it's going to be 1d4.
Cool.
What's your strength and all that? Alrighty, so you guys get down to the bottom of these stairs, and you hear this, grinding sound.
And now hail of 11. Thanks,
And it sounds like it's getting more and more distant. But you make it to the bottom of the stairs, and you are met with this room that you recognize because you've been down here before. I just never had a map for it. And you can see this cave goes off, and you see a couple of carts that look like, instead of wheels like the picture might show, they are flush with the ground. And Zachriel, you get a feeling from Suni. She says, "There are elementals in there."
Sudi says there's elementals in the cart.
I'm gonna walk up to the cart and I'm gonna try to look for a symbol or insignia that reminds me of anything on the hill.
All right. Yeah, you look up at it and you can see not the cart themselves, but there's like this portion of it that I'm
really trying to like figure out if it's from Solid Strides or not.
Yeah, no. You do see the logo of Solid Strides.
Well, now we know where they went there.
Do you think we could use these today?
It depends. I mean, it's to move cargo. Probably heavier rock. We could use it potentially, but I don't know what's further along the path.
Well, you heard that sound, right? Sounded like it was moving away. Perhaps that person jumped in one of these.
I guess you drive. Draz is going to look for an interface of some sort.
Is this considered a land vehicle?
So you find no interface in here.
Can I make an Arcana check to figure out how to work the thing?
Sure. Tadius, you kind of put together that, or actually, did Zachriel said there's elemental in there, right?
Yeah, he did.
Tadius, you put together that perhaps if you could talk to this creature, maybe you could interact with it.
I think the creature itself must be ordered. So, can you speak, rock?
I thought you were coming along with your Primordial.
I'm working on the fire one.
Gotcha.
Lots of hafts. Not good with them.
Hello.
Is that... Wait, did you say that, Justin?
I did.
Okay. You hear back in Terran, hello.
Did someone come through here and take one of your friends?
Says, just a moment, I'm just gonna say it in a gruffy voice, just a moment ago.
Could you... Why did I purr? Could you...
I like the idea of the purring carts, though, now.
Could you, take us to that? Are they enslaving you?
I belong to Ogurmok. I move only for a servant of the living mountain.
I'm gonna touch Sony against it.
You get this sort of electric sensation, and Suni's like bounces off of it practically, and she talks to you and says, Zachriel, I have been turned. There's something dark influencing them, but I think I can restore them.
How do we do? How do we do?
These spirits that inhabit the elemental earth, strike it with the spade, with me, and align your will with mine. So how this is going to work is this might come up in the future, so the mechanic will be, you need to take an action with Suni's spade and strike this earth elemental to bend them toward benevolence. You have to hit their AC to do it. And it's going to be a charisma check with a sort of quasi-advantage that'll be your check and Suni's, and whoever's the best one is the one you take.
It's going to be Suni.
So she sort of confers that to you in a more contextual way. She says, strike them and align your will with mine.
All right. Well, I feel pretty in tune with her, so I will strike.
That is a hit, and instead of like the normal damage, the teeth of the spade sink in, and you guys can see this sort of light appear. And Zachariah, you kind of feel the strange shadow inside this elemental spirit's being. Go ahead and roll a charisma check. So, you, being a creature of fire, you're not really sure how to move stone without maybe melting it. But Suni is able to confer with this creature, and there's sort of this green flash, and in Terran you hear the elemental inside, like the moving mechanism of this cart. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what came over me.
It's fine, you were corrupted by the...
We are not in the place with the nice people that spoke to me and my kin. Where are we?
It's kind of hard to explain to you where you are. You were stolen, and now you've been pseudo-returned. Could you help us?
I would be happy to.
Whoever took you, we need to stop them.
I know how to move this. Go ahead and hop in.
Do you want me to help your friend before?
The cart kind of lurches, and lurches back to a neutral position and says, "Yes, please."
Alright, I will try the other one.
Just sort of stands there. You strike it true, and Suni's helps you. And you kind of hear this sort of scream come from like Suni's mind, and she says, "Zachriel, it might be too far gone, but we should try later."
All right, we'll have to come back for your friend. Seems the connection may be too strong for them. Perhaps when we defeat whoever is in charge, it will weaken the connection.
I understand.
All right, everyone, get in.
Which one?
Tadias will help Delia and hum up. In you go.
All right.
Hey, Mike.
What's up?
I'm gonna take a moment and like poof Nathan out onto my shoulder.
All right.
I want to make more use of him.
Are you gonna have him scout ahead?
I could do that. It's a good idea.
That's what I would do.
I'm gonna Can't I look through his eyes for like 100 feet?
Yep. Does he have dark vision?
I'm gonna. He's an owl. I think he does.
Okay, so
Yeah,
yeah.
owls do.
Owls do. Alrighty.
So I'm gonna hold on to Hum's hand and tell her to just squeeze my hand if something goes wrong.
Got it.
So the excavators then, and it's kind of loud. It's a loud rumbling sound, but the ride is smooth, weirdly enough. You head down this dark cave, and we will continue next week. Good night, Joy.
Bye, Joy! Is that what the
Bye,
card
Joy.
looks like? Awesome.